Working with new and emerging leaders requires patience, humility, and even a healthy dose of self-reflection. I'm James Mayhew, your Chief Culture Officer, and that's the topic for today's Jam Session. The other day, I was working with a small group of new leaders, and I was reminded of the importance, the value of choosing your words properly, using the right words to communicate exactly what you need to communicate. And one of the things this small group is working on is communicating the importance of their culture and their values as expectations of performance with their teams. So I started out the meeting, as I always do each week. I just asked them, how's the week gone? And one of the managers began to share a story with me about a conversation that they were having with a particularly challenging employee. And the manager went on to say how these things aren't going away. That's what they are wanting us to do. They're only going to be driving them harder. And after the manager finished, I simply asked the question, when you're talking about they, who are you really referring to here? Because you were part of they that helped write these. You actually were a participant in crafting all of this. I paused and smiled. The manager smiled. Message received. It's not theirs, it's ours. It's so important to be patient when working with new leaders. We have to coach them. We have to support them, encourage them, challenge them, lead them. And most importantly, we have to show them how to take ownership of their role and take ownership of getting their team to buy into the culture. Remember how it was when you were new to leadership? You probably had been thinking about it and preparing yourself for it for a long time. You felt as if you were ready. But the moment that you had to have those first hard conversations or make that challenging decision, things got real fast. It was awkward and even lonely. And standing before that person or that team in an effort to make it easier, you lowered yourself off of the leadership pedestal and you talked differently. They want this, so we just have to do it. I know that situation because I did it, and I'm guessing you can relate to it as well. But the truth is, whatever ground I thought I had gained by trying to relate to them and soften it and make it easier, I actually had slid backwards, and I was at risk of losing the respect of the team. Quite simply, I just had failed at one of the most basic pieces of leadership. I just hadn't taken ownership of that role. And this is why it's imperative that you create a coaching culture within your company. Be patient with new leaders, but not passive. Have a sense of urgency around their development, but don't rush it. And most importantly, instill a sense of confidence with them that's covered by humility. And that right there, my friends, is a winning formula.